So right in front of me I have two watches, the Apple Watch Series 8 and Apple Watch Series 7. You can't tell the difference. The design is identical. They haven't changed it over the past year. Why should they? It's only been a year. And these are both the 45mm version. So the bigger one, I like the bigger style. It fits on my wrist very nicely, but if you like smaller watches, there's a smaller version you can choose from too. The only way to tell the difference between these two is if you pick them up, because the Series 7 is in green, and this is a color option they dropped from the Series 8 lineup, along with, I think, the blue. I have it in black, which looks very classic. It goes with any outfit you decide to pair it against. But the biggest updates are internal. It's using the exact same system on chip as the Series 7 and the Series 6, so you're not gonna see a performance difference there. And to be quite frank, it still feels very snappy today, and a lot of the processes that are happening on the watch really just don't require something faster. But the real updates are to the accelerometer and the gyroscope to help with crash detection. Now this is important because the iPhone 14 got it, and I'm glad they're bringing it to the Apple Watch Series 8 along with the newer Apple Watch Series SE, or Apple Watch SE 2 2nd gen. And these sensors detect how fast the car is going, whether it's hit something. It uses sound detection, certain frequencies to determine whether or not you're in a car crash. Now, having your watch on your wrist is a lot more accurate than depending on your iPhone 14 to figure out whether you got into a crash. Because let's face it, your iPhone 14 is sometimes sitting on a MagSafe connector, or it's in the glove compartment of your car, or even in your pocket. This is literally on your wrist and will have an easier time determining whether you are in danger. Now, the way it works is if you do get into a car crash, I hope you don't, it will wait 10 seconds, and if you don't do anything, it will contact authorities. A lot of companies are adding more features to improve your workflow, but Apple is now starting to add features that could potentially save your life. The other new sensor to the Series 8 is the temperature sensor, and quite frankly, it's kind of useless to a guy like me, right? Like, it's cool that it's there, but it has no reason for me to get excited about. Maybe 2 or 3 years if Apple offers new features that could utilize it. But for right now, it's really geared towards the ladies. It does a good job of detecting whether or not you are PMSing, your fertility cycles, your ovulation periods. And the way it does it is by using 2 temperature sensors. There's one on top, and then there's one on the bottom. And you have to have 2 temperature sensors on your watch so that you don't get false temperatures, because your environment's different from the temperature on your skin. So it has to talk to each other to make sure it's accurate. Now, I'm not going to test ovulation and PMS because I don't have ovaries. Maybe I do, I don't know. But I'll save that for a female reviewer who will do a much better job than I can. But here's the thing, the star of the show is really watchOS 9. It has so many new features that really just trickles down to the Series 7, Series 6, and even Series 5. There's a new Compass app that now tracks your steps via GPS. The medication tracking is finally here, really important if you're taking medication and you don't want to miss a day. You have multi-stage sleep, which is something that I've been using quite a bit. You actually get to see your REM, you get to see your deep sleep, you get to see all that stuff a lot more accurately, and you can see the areas where you need to improve. There's even a new low power mode that comes across the board to help give you more battery life in the situations that you don't have access to a charger. And you don't need to buy the Series 8 to get these features. It's coming to your Apple Watch right now. The only reason I'd buy the Series 8 is if you're coming from something that's a lot older than the Series 5. The only way I'd jump from the Series 5 to the Series 8 is if you're using the cellular version of the Series 5, because I found the modem inside there not to be the greatest. It didn't get improved until the Series 6. But honestly, I think the most underrated Apple Watch is probably the new Apple Watch SE 2nd gen. This has the exact same system on chip as the Apple Watch 8 and also includes crash detection. I think for someone who doesn't need the ECG function or the blood oxygen monitoring, this is the watch to get, especially if you're a young, healthy individual who just wants to track their steps, monitor their sleeps, and get all the benefits of watchOS 9. Because not only are you saving yourself a lot of money, you're getting a watch that's gonna last you years. I'd only jump to the Apple Watch Series 8 if you've had an Apple Watch already and it's time for an upgrade, whether the battery's not lasting as long as it should, or you're using something that's older than the Apple Watch Series 5. But yeah, this is a small iterative update. I'm really curious to see what they do with the temperature sensor in the long run, because right now it can only do so much. It's mostly geared towards females, which is great, but I'm curious if they can do a bit more for everybody else. That wraps up my review on the Apple Watch Series 8. If you're interested in checking any of them out, there'll be links in the description down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.